Dear students, we have learnt about society and its institutions. We also know that some of these institutions are losing its grip on society due to industrialization and urbanization. But we have really understood the consequences of urbanization in India? No. We only know that India is facing a lot of problem by looking around us and through media and newspapers. So today we will briefly go through some of the problems that India is facing and get an insight into it. In the later classes, we will deal with each one of it separately for the better understanding of the problem. India is one of the developing nations of the modern world. It has become an independent country, a republic, more than a half century ago. During this period, the country has been engaged in efforts to attain development and growth in various areas such as building infrastructure, production of good grains, science and technology, and spread of education. The life expectancy has increased and many indices have controlled. However, these are many areas in which Indian society is experiencing a variety of problems. Some of these problems have their roots in our colonial past, while others are related to demographic changes, socio-political conditions, and cultural processes. Social issue is an issue that relates to society's perception of people's personal lives. Different societies have different perceptions, and what may be normal behavior in society may be a significant social issue in another society. Social problem can be produced by social conditions, and it needs to be remedied by collective human action. The values and norms of society or culture play an important role in defining a social problem. Values are a society's idea about what is acceptable and unacceptable. Norms in a society tell us the rules about how a person in a society has to behave in a social situation. So one can say that values and norms together help the society to function harmoniously. There are many institutions in the society to take care of these values and norms. Majority of the people follow these rules and values which offer stability to the society. Social problems are the issues that directly or indirectly affect the majority of all the members of society. Social problems affect the fabric of the community, and they lie beyond the control of one individual, no matter how much the power he or she holds. Some of the social issues that are considered as problems are violence, pollution, injustice, and many others. For a social issue to be classified as a problem, it must be getting attention from the public. There must be some public outcry about the issue. The issue must also have a gap between social ideals and social reality. It must run counter to the values of society at large. It must also get the concern of the majority in society. The condition that is to be called a problem should have the capability to get a solution through the collective action of the general public. It is hard to find solutions or to implement recommendations for many social problems. This is because social problems affect a vast majority of the population of the society. These people are being affected by the problem in different ways, hence each has a different suggestion of the solution to the problem. Implementation of recommendations equally as hard, since everyone being affected is supposed to take part, and this does not necessarily happen. Social problems arise in a society when there is social disorganization. This disorganization implies the breakdown of relationships, teamwork, and morale among the groups of interrelated persons so as to impair the functions of the society or smaller social organization. Hence, social disorganization implies relative disharmony between individual attitudes and social values. When a common value breaks down, these consensus is partially or wholly disturbed. Structural. A social structure is socially embodied in the actions, thoughts, beliefs, and durable dispositions of individual human beings. A social structure is effective in organizing behavior of large numbers of actors. A structure is coercive of individual and group behavior. A social structure assigns roles and powers to individual actors. A social structure often has distributive consequences for individuals and groups. A social structure is geographically dispersed. Social structures can cause social outcomes involving both persistence and change. So when there is a threat to this structure, various social problems arise like population, explosion, unemployment, inequality, or caste and gender. Problems of scheduled caste and tribes. We will see the cause and consequences of these problems briefly. Population explosion. We know that the word population means the number of inhabitants of a particular area, city, or country. This population globally has been increasing but is not uniformly growing. Some countries are less populated than others, like China and also India. Both these countries have population that is increasing at a tremendous speed. When this population exceeds more than a country can hold in terms of space, economy, then we say that human population is exceeding the limit. So population explosion is the geometric expansion of a biological population, especially the unchecked growth in human population resulting from a decrease in infant mortality and an increase in longevity. Population by itself is not a problem if it is in a manageable size, but if the size becomes unmanageable, the same population invites unwanted problems. India is the second most populous country in the world. India's population is currently increasing at the rate of 18.15 million each year. This increase in population has become a socio-economic problem for India. The reasons for this alarming increase are due to a lot of causes. The growth of population depends on the excess of births over deaths. Death rates have decreased because of the progress in medical knowledge, but birth rates are high because of the attitude of the people. Indians still consider the fact that one should get married, have many children. Family planning is still not that popular among the people. This trend is seen more in the villages as they are illiterate and consider that they should have many children. Another reason is that in India, boys are still given importance, and as such, people keep having children till they get a boy. This trend is slowly changing now in the cities. People are getting educated and knowing the problems that will arise with many children. Government is also popularizing family planning now, even though it was not given such importance earlier. Due to overpopulation, India is facing unemployment, shortage of food, poverty, slow economic development as some of its problems. Unemployment. With overpopulation comes unemployment. Hence, India is facing this problem. Unemployment is a state of worklessness for a man who is willing to work but is unable to get work. This problem is growing in an unmanageable proportion in India. It is because of many reasons. One main cause, as said, is because of overpopulation. Age factor fixes limitations to the type of work one can get. Hence, old people and young people both suffer because of this. Another factor is that the competition is so high in the corporate world that employees are also looking for people with experience, interest, and physical fitness. In industries, many people are losing their jobs as those jobs are being done with the help of technology. Due to unemployment, many problems arise within the individual. He loses his self-respect, and as such his family suffers from an irregular flow of income which upsets the balance of the family. Inequality of castes. Caste system that was prevalent in India was a type of social satisfaction. In India society, the Hindus were divided according to their caste and were given a place in the society. Each caste was given a strata or level in the hierarchy. The Brahmins used to be on the top, followed by the Kshatriyas, Vaishyas, and the lower level was given to the Shudras. This led to the inequality among the people based on caste. The Brahmins were considered the higher class and the Shudras at the lowest class. There was no upward movement for the people belonging to the lower caste. The upper caste people had full power and authority in the society, whereas lower caste people were exploited. There were restrictions on the type of food, dress, work, and how the lower caste people should behave in society. Inequality of gender. This is the inequality shown on women. The emphasis on gender inequality is born out of the deepening division in the roles assigned to men and women, particularly in the economic, political, and educational spheres. This inequality has come from the fact almost all societies, different cultural expectations have been woven around male and female differences. It has been seen that in all societies, men are considered the providers for the family and the women are expected to take care of the children and to attend to household duties. Problems of scheduled caste, tribes, minorities. The problems of the scheduled caste, scheduled tribes and the minorities have increased. The scheduled caste and scheduled tribes are two groups of historically disadvantaged people recognized in the Constitution of India. During the period of British rule in the Indian subcontinent, they were known as the depressed classes. The scheduled caste were considered untouchables and hence were given the lowest status in the hierarchy. They were not allowed to use the public and civic facilities. They were illiterate and exploited. The scheduled tribes are known as the unprivileged section of the population. They too are illiterate and exploited. They are the poorest of the poor in India. Their culture and attitudes are very different than the other people. They mostly live on the fringes of the cities. Minorities, they are a group of people who, because of their physical or cultural characteristics, are singled out from the others in the society in which they live for differential and unequal treatment. They constitute a Muslim, Christian, Jews, Buddhist, Jains and Anglo-Indians in India. When compared to the majority group, that is the Hindus, these people are at a minority. The Muslims are the largest minority group. They have to deal with prejudices and discriminations in the society. Because of this, communal riots between the Hindus and the Muslims are very common. Regardless as to who starts the riot, it is invariably the Muslims who are at a loss. Familial. A family is a group of people affiliated by consanguinity, affinity, or co-residence. Problems happening or tending to occur among the members of a family which is affecting the society is called familial social problem. Some of them are dowry, violence, intergenerational conflict, divorce, old age problem. In India previously, the type of family found was joint family. All members lived together and shared the duties together. It also gave its members sense of belongingness. But in modern times, the joint families have disintegrated into nucleus families. This has led to divorces. Dowry. A dowry is the money, goods or estate that a woman brings to a marriage. Dowry is an ancient custom. Dowries continue to be expected in some parts of the world, mainly in India. A dowry may also have served as a form of protection for the wife against the possibility of ill treatment by her husband and his family, providing an incentive for the husband not to harm his wife. In India, dowry is a payment of cash or gifts from the bride's family to the bridegroom's family upon marriage. It may include cash, jewelry, electrical appliances, furniture, bedding, crockery, utensils, and other household items that help the newlyweds set up their home. In India, the dowry system puts great financial strain on the bride's family. This has been cited as one of the reasons for families resorting to sex selection, favoring the birth of sons over daughters. Dowry system has turned as an evil practice in India. Dowry is fixed according to the education and job of the groom. One can hear of wives being treated badly by her in-laws or husbands. Dowry deaths are also the rise. Despite anti-dowry laws in India, it is still a common illegal practice. Divorce. Divorce is the termination of a marital union, the cancelling of the legal duties and responsibilities of marriage, and the dissolving of the bonds of matrimony. Between a married couple, in olden days marriage was considered to be sacred and should not be broken. But in modern times, the girls have become educated and have started working. Hence, they have stopped tolerating the ill treatments met on them. They feel that they are empowered to take care of themselves. Problem of aged. This is a new problem arising in Indian society. In the traditional family, all members, old and young, live together. It was considered the duty of all the members to take care of the old and the aged. It was not considered a burden. In recent times, with both partners working and having no time to take care of the aged parents, they are being sent to homes meant for the old people. Another problem is that even though a person has become old and weak, he still wants to have control over the family matter. This has led to conflicts between the young and the old. Development-induced displacement. It is forcing the communities and individuals to move out of their homes for the purpose of economic development. It is a type of forced migration. Many reasons such as airports, industrial plants, railways, road developments, etc. Development-induced displacement is a social problem affecting multiple levels of human organization, from tribal and village communities to well-developed urban areas. The displaced people feel homeless and helpless. Disorganizational. Social disorganization is a disturbance in the equilibrium of the society, leading to social problems. Corruption. Corruption is one of the social evils found in all societies in the world. India is regarded as one of the countries with the highest corruption rate. It has many forms and dimensions. With the passage of time, corruption in India has become a convention, tradition, and a necessity. It is found in every sphere of man's life. It has become very deep-rooted in our Indian society. Crime. Corruption and organized crime very often go together. Corruption provides scope for the crime to happen. These crimes are led by some unscrupulous people with criminal tradition. A crime is an act harmful not only to some individual but also to the community of the state. Such acts are forbidden and punishable by law. In India, one can find large-scale organizations who deal with criminal activities. The main purpose of these activities is to make quick and easy money. This is because of the socio-economic conditions of India. White-collar crime. It is a crime committed by a person of respect and high social status in the course of this occupation. These crimes are committed by the doctors, advocates, government officials, and they are not the traditional criminals like robbers, thieves, etc. These crimes are often committed by means of fraud, deceit, adulteration, malpractices, etc. Drug addiction. It is a compulsive behavior, need to use drugs in order to function normally. When such substances are unobtainable, the user suffers from withdrawal. A drug user may not be aware that their behavior is out of control and causing problems for themselves and others. Drug addiction is a problem that has been increasing immensely among our society today. People getting addicted to drugs are on the rise. It is mostly seen among youngsters. They try it out curiously and then get addicted to the drugs. In modern times, with the amount of pressure on people, less love and care in the family, youngsters get addicted to the addiction. Addiction can trap anyone. It can lead to harming one's body, causing problems in family structure, and can contribute to the delinquency in society. Drug abuse often leads to crime as a result of reduced impulse control, paranoia, and negligence, thus affects the law and order, economic production, and human welfare. Juvenile delinquency. It is one of the serious problems of the society. It is the outcome of rapid modernization in India. In India, a person below the age of 18 exhibits behavior which may prove to be dangerous to society and or to himself. He may be called a juvenile delinquent. A child is born innocent, but unhealthy surroundings, negligence of basic needs, wrong company, and other abuses may turn a child to a delinquent. As far as the Indian society is concerned, the chief causes for this unprecedented increase in juvenile delinquency is because of urbanization. It has invited various new problems like housing, slum dwelling, overcrowding, lack of parental control, and family disintegration, and so on. Moreover, temptation for modern luxuries of life lures young people to resort to wrongful means in order to satisfy their wants. Such factors together lead to an enormous increase in juvenile delinquency in urban areas of the country. Disintegrated family system and the natural consequences of broken homes, lack of parental control, absence of security, and want of love and affection towards children are contributing factors. Another very crucial cause of the said problem is unprecedented increase in divorce causes and matrimonial disputes. Undue discrimination amongst children or stepmotherly treatment also makes adverse psychological effect on youngsters. Feeling of being neglected may take a child to go astray, and this furnishes a soothing ground for juvenile delinquency. Conclusion. As a conclusion, we only say that India is facing a grave situation in all spheres. The problems are only increasing at a rapid speed, and the prevention methods are not able to stop it. It will take centuries for these problems to be solved. Only some harsh, fast-moving preventive measures will help India to at least stop this acceleration of problems.